Okay. Hey you guys, thank you for tuning in on my live and Instagram. I'm going to be doing a live tutorial with you all. I'm going to incorporate a sultry look, which is more like a bronze, kind of like, not a smoky look, but just like a natural look. Everything is just going to be different techniques on how I do my makeup and everything else. So I'm going to be using cream foundation instead of liquid. So let's get to it. So first and foremost, the reason why I do this is because any type of tutorial or videos or anything else that I do, I always sanitize my hands and make sure that my hands are partially clean. So I'm going to be using 91% alcohol because first and foremost, I'm going to be touching my hands with my face and stuff. So I'm going to be incorporating a lot of stuff. But yeah, so 91% alcohol is I use. So first I'm going to start with my eyes first and my brows. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for the rest of my folks to join in. Let's see. Let's see. I got so many brushes, y'all. Hey, thank you for tuning in. All right. So I got so many brushes in here, it's crazy. So I'm going to be using caramel for my my brows because we want to keep it as much as natural as possible. So I'm going to do this look, I'm just going to use caramel for my pomade for my brows. And I'm trying to find my, what you call it? Alright, well, let's see. Ha, there you go. Alright, we found it. Alright, so I am going to use my translucent powder for my my brows, but first and foremost I'm going to use my MAC Sober Cream to apply this all over my skin. And I'm going to use this on the back of the palm of my hand. And I'm going to take my applicator and I'm apply it all over my skin. And down to where my neckline is. I know y'all, I'm trying to get myself together. So just bear with me. Alright. As we apply this application all over our face, then I'm going to take my cream foundation. This one is Black Opal Beauty, and the shade is called Amber. I'm going to use that and apply that all over my face. Now I'm using that same application, the beauty blender. I'm using that and I'm applying that all over my face. Because like I said, I'm going to be using this application to apply it all over my face. So it will blend, and I'm just using my beauty blender and applying that all over. And you also want to make sure that you apply it on your neckline as well, and on your ears. Hey, Shaneva. I'm coming so you can do mine. Okay, cool. And as you know, and as you apply this, this is going to be a full coverage makeup, but I'm keeping it as natural as possible as I apply all of this on my face. And then just like I said, make sure you just apply it on your ears as well, and then on your jawline. All right, now we are going to work on is our cream highlight. So I am using the number shade 9 from Juvia. And I'm also using e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer. And this is Deep Olive. So I'm using the number 9 and the number Deep Olive. And like I said, I am applying this on the back of my hand. Because like I said, I'm going to be using this. My hands, I'm pretty much going to be using this on the back of my hands. I know this is very sanitizing, but this will help me far as applying and knowing what color and coverage that I apply on. So Hey, Jessica. Take a little bit more of that. And a little bit more of that. And I am using e.l.f. and Juvia, and the shade for Juvia that the shade that I'm using from Juvia is number 9, and the concealer that I'm using for e.l.f. is Deep Olive. So I'm applying that one there. And the look for today that I'm doing is pretty much a natural sultry look, but I'm going to be using a bronze. Alright, and then I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to blend out everything. Hey girl, I'm trying to learn something. Well, learn on. And I'm just blending that in. And as I'm blending that in, I just want to make sure that it's blended all the way through. Because as I blend this in, I want it to be more seamless and flawless as I apply my translucent powder. So when I set it, it have a nice finish. And then we're going to do our contour, and I'm going to show you how to contour as well. So as I blend this in all the way to the T, just want to make sure that it's all blended in as well. And then I'm going to take my darker shade, which is Tussin, and this is from Juvia. I put DD because it's my darker shade. So I'm going to take this darker shade and I'm going to use my contour brush. I know I got so many brushes in here and it's crazy. Alright. Let me find contact. Alright. using my contour brush, and this is the Real Technique. So I'm going to take my darker shade and I'm going to apply that on the side of my cheeks and my jawline. And around the perimeter of my forehead as well. And then also you could take the brush as well and you can go on the side of your nose as well. And what you want to do is you want to flatten it out just enough to contour the side of your nose. Okay. And then after we do that, I'm going to use the same beauty blender that I use to apply everything else. And then I'm just going to blend that out. And if you feel like that the contour is too much, what you do is you take that same foundation that you had on your beauty blender and you can take it up just a little bit, or you can take a brush, don't matter, and just go in, and that will help it to blend. And as I apply this on here, I'm going to take a brush and then I'm going to buff all of this out. Alright, now using the same concealer that I used before when I was applying the stuff, I'm going to take another one and I'm going to apply it again right here on the side. I know you guys like saying, well, that's a bit too much to be applying, you know, such and such on your face. But now if I want like a full coverage and if I want my face to be flawless, it takes time. It takes time. It takes a little bit of time of doing what you really love. And I'm just taking that same application and I'm just applying it underneath my eyes. And then I'm just blending that in. Hey, Carrie. Ooh. And just make sure all of that is blended as well. And then we're going to take our translucent powder and we're going to set the perimeter of our face. And as you apply translucent powder, you always want to make sure that when you're setting your translucent powder, just make sure you kind of buff it out. You can use your finger and just buff all the excess concealer that was underneath your eyes, so you won't see any creasing or anything else, because it will tend to stay. And I'm going to use my setting brush, which is the 402 brush, and that's the Real Technique. So I'm going to use that and apply that underneath my eyes. And same thing on my forehead, just making sure that powder is applied all over. And then I'm going to set that as well using my powder brush. Yep, my powder brush, and I'm going to use my MAC mineralizer powder, and I'm gonna use that to apply that and set that the whole face. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to set some translucent powder onto underneath our eyes because we're getting ready to do our eyes. So I'm going to take some translucent powder and then apply that on there. Because we don't want no fallouts. So we're going to go ahead and set that as well. Alright, for this look, we are doing a more sultry look and kind of like a bronze. So I'm going to take my shade, which is, I'm going to take my brown shade, and I'm going to use the Warrior 2 palette, and I'm also going to use the Warrior palette to do this look. So I'm going to take my angle brush, which is from Beats Cosmetics, and this is number 104. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up my transition for my eyes and then work my way through. So I'm using this darker brown shade right here to build up my transition, and then I'm going to use my other shade. And like I said, I use translucent powder underneath my eye so I won't have any fallouts as I apply this eyeshadow on my eyes. And then I'm going to take a much darker shade, and I'm using Mino right here, this darker shade, and I'm apply that underneath my eyes. So I'm using my buffer shade, and I'm using this brush, and this is Morphine M330, so I'm using that to apply that on there. And then as we apply that, I'm going to take this shade right here, and this one is called Dormy, and I'm going to use that to apply that on my lid. So I'm using my finger to apply that color on my lid. And then I'm going to take that other color and then I'm going to just blend that seamlessly as well. So I'm going to take my bronze, kind of light brown, and I'm going to blend that so it can give me that nice look that I want. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side of my eye. Taking that same color, that light brown, and I'm going to apply that on to my lid. Then I'm going to take that same color, that dark brown, that Mino, and I'm going to apply that on the bottom of my lash line. And work my way through the inner crease of my lid. Outer crease, I'm sorry. And as we do that, take a little bit more of that dark brown. There we go. Alright, and then I'm going to take that same color, which is Dormy, and I'm going to apply that onto my lid. Okay, and then I'm going to take my darker shade from the Warrior palette 2, and I'm going to take Yodi and Khufu, and I'm going to take those two shades and I'm going to blend those as well. Alright, then we're going to take that same color that we have on, our, what you call it, that same color that we have on our lid, we're going to apply it on the bottom. And I'm going to use take my darker shade, which is my brown, and I'm going to apply that on the bottom of my lash line. So I'm going to take Khufu and Yodu, these two shades right here, and I'm going to apply that on the bottom of my lash line. And I always have to have my mirror with me. I don't know why, I just do. So I'm going to take that same color and I'm going to just apply it on the lash line. Of my eye, so bring it that more smoky, sultry, natural look that I want. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of my Dormy and apply a little bit of that onto my lash line as well. There we go. And I'm going to take Dormy and apply it on the other side of my eye. Alright. Then what we're going to do is we're going to buff that out just a little bit. Alright, and then we're going to take our black lash line, and I'm gonna use my black eyeshadow, and it's called Suave, and I'm gonna do that on the lower lash line. All right, and then we're gonna buff that out. And then I'm going to use my bronzer. I'm going to use my bronzer. And I'm going to add some life into that. So I'm going to just use my brown, and I'm just going to add a little bit of that contour to it. Not as much. And like I said, you also want to build it up. So you won't have any harsh lines. Now we're going to work on our brows, and I'm going to use Caramel. Like I said, it takes time and it takes practice when you are doing your lashes and everything else. It takes time. I don't rush stuff because if I rush it, it'll look too over the top that it's supposed to look like. So I always tend to make sure I take my time when I'm doing something or perfecting something. But you also have to have a time limit too. So there's ways of you can do it and different techniques. But like I said, I pretty much like to take time and like to do stuff that's accordingly. So I'm just brushing this up, and I am using Caramel as my for my brows, and I'm using the pomade. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that and apply that on the back of my hand. And what you want to do is you want to work your way, and let me just go in just a little bit. So what you want to do is you want to take that and you want to apply it right here and kind of just fill in the hairs that needs to be filled in. And if you need to brush it down, you can. And if you have one of those brows where it's like curved up, so what you do is you take that, go up, curve over, just like that, and then bring that down. And then apply that product in just a little bit more to kind of, to bring it in more. And then you just brush up. So as you applying that product, it'll just help it to fill in some of your hairs that you have. That's in your brows. So as I'm applying that, I'm taking that spoolie and I'm just going in. And then I'm just adding some of that product back in. I'm so used to using my pencil, and pomades tend to have some type of crazy stuff about me, but like I said, I'm not really a pomade, but I'm just working as I go. And then I'm just taking that spoolie and I'm just filling that in. I'm brushing that outward to fill it in. And like I said, I just want to make it more natural as possible as I'm brushing this in. And all right, we're going to do that on the other side of the brow. Same thing with here. Brush the hairs up and take that color, that product, and just go in as I apply. And then what you want to do is you want to move your head slightly to where the product is placing at. So as you apply that product, you just brush it up and applying that all over. And just filling in as you go. Like I said, pomade is not my thing, but I like using the pencil because it's more precise and it's more consistent. So pomade is something that I just want to see you guys know of how I use pomade. I'm going to use a little bit more of that product, just a little bit, to fill in those hairs. And in here, because that's where my cut is, so I'm just decisively filling in that product right there where it needs to be filled in. And then I'm going to just take my spoolie and I'm going to brush it in. All right. Then I'm going to take my concealer and pretty much conceal that area right here, just a little bit. Just conceal that area right there. And then just blend it in with your finger. There we go. So as you do that, you're just taking that same product and you just blending that in. That same product that I'm using, I'm just literally going back and then just blending that product in. And then taking some of that and then just blending that in, that highlight. I like to leave this last because even though I like my concealer to set on my nose as I'm doing my contour, so I'm going to take that same brush that I used and I'm just going to highlight some of that contour that's in there on the bridge of my nose. And then I can also take that same color and I can highlight the side of my nose as well. Alright, and then I'm going to take my blush powder, and I'm just going to pretty much take all of that excess powder that I have underneath there. And I'm going to use my highlighter, which is from from NARS, and this is called Hamelia. It's a really pretty color, and I'm apply that on the side of my face. I absolutely love this highlighter. It's actually an eyeshadow, but I can use it as a highlighter. But like I said, I love this color because it's so pretty and it goes a long way. I'm going to do it on the bridge of my nose. And then I'm going to do it on the middle of my nose, right where my lip is. And then we're going to do lips and lashes. So my lip gloss that I'm going to be using is pretty much Anastasia, you know, the one and only, as always. But I want to keep this look as a much sultry look. So I'm going to take my dark shade from Juvia, which is called Tussin, and I'm going to line my lips with that. Hey, Junior. So I'm taking that darker shade and I'm applying that onto my lips. And I'm going to, where is it? Okay. Then I'm going to take a sultry look, which is my Anastasia, which is liquid sand, and I'm going to apply it a little bit onto the middle of my lips. Hey, Shayla. I'm going to take a little bit of that brown and I'm going to apply that just a little bit, tad bit right there, so I can line that up. And then I'm going to add some gloss. And then I'm going to add some gloss to that. I'm using Black Radiant lip gloss. And I'm going to apply that on there to my lips. And just give it that nice pretty shine that I want. So like I said, I want to keep this as natural as possible. And I'm going to do my lashes. And the lashes that I'm going to use is, where are they? I'm using mascara, which is from Total Temptation. You guys get hooked onto this because this right here is absolutely, I love. Absolutely. So I'm using my lash curler. Hey, Jolisa. I'm using my lash curler, and the mascara, like I said, I'm using is Total Temptation from Maybelline. All right. Now the lashes that I'm going to use are the Kiss, and these are the Wispies, and they are called the Blowout Kisses. I'm going to use these, but I feel as though I need to use some, I'm going to do some Wispies today. Make them nice. How about that? All right. Let's see. All right. I'm using lash glue. This is the green sensitive one. I do tend to have sensitive eyes when it comes down of putting lash glue on. So I'm using this lash glue, and this is the green. This is the sensitive one. And what you do is you want to take your lashes, right? And you want to take your lash glue and you want to apply it the top of your lash is right here where the bands are. You don't want to apply it under because it's not going to apply on right. So what you do is you'll take your lash glue and you apply the band just enough to where you have enough glue, not as much. And then take your tweezers. Make sure you sanitize your tweezers too. All my stuff is like very sanitized. You blow on it and just apply. But I always tend to have my mirror every time when I do that. So, yeah. There will be one day where I will just apply these lashes with my fingers and not use tweezers. Even though I still need it, but eventually I will. So you want to make sure the band fits as you apply these lashes on. And press down and make sure that it's underneath your eye. You could do it underneath or you could do it on top. It don't matter how you apply it. But as for me, I'm applying it on top. So when I press down my lashes, all I have to do is just press down as I apply it. Because it's right there where my lash line is. And it's right there where my actual lashes are too. So as that is pressed down, I'm going to use my fingers to press it down even more. And then that's the full effect. Yeah. Alright, we're going to do that on the other side. And these lashes, you can find these on their website. And these are the wispies, the blowout lashes. So they come in 5 in a pack, which is like this. And you can find these in Walmart too, so don't matter. But they have these online. So I'm trying these out. I really like this look. I like the lashes, how it came out. So I'm really feeling these Kiss lashes. So like I said, you apply the glue on top. And as you're applying that, you just want to make sure that you have enough at the end of the lashes too. And once you apply that on there, then you're good. Like I said, I am going to be hooked on of not applying the tweezers, and I'm just going to use my hands. But until then, yeah. Like I said, it should come natural to me. And you just want to make sure that your lashes is on there all the way. Alright, and these are done. Just make sure that you press down as you apply the lashes so they can fit on your actual lashes. And all you gotta do is just press down. makeup. Alright, and this is the look, y'all. And like I said, I'm just pressing these lashes down to make sure that the lashes are on there all the way. And if you need to adjust them, hey Tosh. And if you need to adjust them, go ahead and adjust them if you can. Alright. And this is the look, guys. And then I'm going to add my setting spray. And then that's it. Alright. So this is the look, guys. If you guys like this look and you want to know more about how I get this look, just stay tuned. I will be posting this look on my page and on my Instagram as well. So this is the look, y'all. Nice sultry bronze look, not too much, but not over the top, but it's just a nice little look that I like. So if you guys like this look, comment down below and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.